everybody. How are you? How are you guys doing tonight? I hope everybody is doing good. I am on tonight. This is your girl Yasmin Breakdown. I am trying to see. Hey, I'm on tonight. How are you guys doing tonight? I want to go ahead and get on my YouTube and my Facebook. I'm on tonight. You guys, I wanted to talk about something that's very important. I wanted to talk about there was a story that came out this week about I guess today, Glo'Rilla's family, the rapper Glo'Rilla. She came, her sister or something came on and basically said, hey, you know, she's successful, and I was so hungry I almost ate a roach. And her mom is still, their mom is apparently still working at FedEx. And I wanted to, have the question, have the conversation where we're asking, when you become successful, do you owe your family everything? Or how much do you owe, in fact, your family? How much do you owe your family when you become successful? And one of the things that I think is very interesting is that when people become successful, particularly they've come from a hard, background or whatever, people, hey, Monica, people think all the time that you had this very supportive family. You have this very supportive, these people who looked out for you, right? And so now that you've become successful, all of these people, hey Emmett, all of those people are now supporting you, right? Because they've supported you. Like, that's the assumption. But here's a little bit, potentially, is the reality. And that is, just because you've made it and become successful, that doesn't mean the people in your family ever supported you, right? It doesn't really mean that they ever supported you. When you think about people who are saying, like, hey, their parents kicked them out at 13 years old, 14 years old, people have been kicked out of their homes as kids, okay? And then they go and become successful, and people are like trying to shame them and saying, well, why aren't you doing more for your parents or your parent or whomever, when the kids were treated horribly the whole time, right? And so it's a very important. I wanted to have a conversation with you guys on the Yasmin Breakdown Live today to see what you thought about that. Because I don't think, for one, I don't think you owe people everything. I don't believe that you become successful and all of a sudden you're supposed to be paying everybody's bills and buying everybody's houses. And I don't feel like that. And the reason why I don't feel like that is because I don't support this idea that once everybody becomes dependent on you, now you have all this stress. Like, what if somebody gets sick? They don't have a job. You got to take care of them. What if something happens with their house? They can't afford to live there. They can't even afford to fix the things. So if something happens, everything comes on you. There was just a study that I did in one of my videos just the other day that said stress is killing us, right? So when you take on everybody else's burdens, guess what? Stress is starting to kill folks, okay? You are taking on more stress. And I'm not saying to be selfish, I'm not saying that. I'm asking you guys, and please, if you are listening, if you're in the live or whatever, say some things in the chat. The question of today, you guys, is, when you become successful, do you owe your family everything? That's the question. I am so thankful I grew up, and my mom worked, my dad worked. And so as I got out, everybody had their own things. So I didn't feel, as I became more successful in my career, I didn't feel like I had to take on the responsibility of my family. right? I didn't feel like that, right? And so I brought this up, you guys, because if you've been seeing the clips, and I might do a short breakdown on it, there, Glo'Rilla the rapper, her sister has sort of been like, hey, our mom still works at FedEx. I'm hungry, blah, blah, blah. All these different kinds of things. And I know we see it on television all the time. Somebody gets into professional sports, whatever, they gonna buy their mom a house. Everybody that's their thing. I'm gonna buy my mom a house. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. And that's fine if that's what you want to do. But all I'm saying is that taking on that pressure for everybody, taking on that responsibility for everybody, because it doesn't stop with the house. It becomes the house, the medical bills, the car. Well, what if the brother or sister wants something? And all of a sudden, you've broken free to make money and to become stable for yourself. And all of a sudden, you have all of these responsibilities. And again, what did I just say? A study came out earlier this week by JAMA, the Journal of something, JAMA. I don't even know what it stands for. It's probably the Journal of American Medical something. And they talked about, for the first time, they did a study. There was a study in there that for the first time in 17 years, you guys, 17 years, they show that there's a 50% difference between the deaths of blacks and whites, black folks and white folks, and it is largely attributed to stress. Okay. And what did they say? What were they talking about? Stress. One of the biggest stressors, you know what they were talking about? Economic stress. Economic stress. So I wanted to come on here today and say, guys, this is related. This is related, right? And I always do a celebrity breakdown, not to talk about the celebrities because the celebrities are just like us, they're regular people. But if you're feeling the pressure of, okay, do I have to take care of this person and take care of that person? And nobody is saying, don't look out for your family or don't help your family and things like that. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm not saying that you cannot help people. I'm saying that you have got to acknowledge that when you take on all of someone's financial responsibility, that could potentially become stressful for you. Okay. And what we're learning from earlier this week is that stress is most certainly ending our lives. Yes, is ending our lives prematurely. Yes. We have a comment over on the chat. It says, it's like some of us, wait a minute. It's like some of us have a type of Harriet Tubman syndrome. When we make it, we want to bring everyone. I think that that's true. I think that's, and thank you so much for that statement. I do think that we have a syndrome. I don't know, Harriet Tubman. Harriet Tubman was freeing the slaves. But I think, and again, you guys, I'm not trying to say be selfish and I'm not trying to say be cool, be cruel, right? What I'm simply bringing up is that I would talk about this in my workouts in the morning. You cannot save yourself if you're on the plane and the plane's going down, right? The first thing the people say is put on your air mat, put on your face mask first, right? They tell you to put your oxygen mask on first and then help the person next to you, help your child, help whoever. Because here's the reality. If you can't breathe, you are not in a position to help anybody else, right? That's the reality. And in life, it's the same thing with your finances. If you don't have your finances together, if you don't have your stability together, your 401k, your retirement, everything that you need to do, if you don't have those things together, you are not in a position. Hear me when I say it. You are not in a position to help somebody else. You know what I'm saying? You are not in a position to help somebody. And that's again, so here we are. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to help somebody, and we haven't even positioned ourselves with the security that we need to secure. So if you guys have any comments today, I'm gonna just see if I'm missing any. Okay, I don't have any yet. All right, I just want to make sure in case you guys have any comments today. I thought that was really interesting. That when you become successful, do you owe your family everything, and what do you owe? And I think as parents out here, listen, I know it's tough. I know it's tough out here, but I know with my kids, both of my kids are grown, and I didn't want them, me and my husband, we did not want them to think that they had to take care of us. No matter what success that we had or what success they had, I didn't want my kids to think that, they had this pressure to take care of me. Now, I will tease my son and I'll say to him, I can't wait till you get out of college so you can give me my little allowance. I'm gonna be, I'll be out there in my little granny stroll with your money. And I'm joking, but he know, like, no, my mom is good. I'm joking. He know I'm joking, okay? But I'm just saying, I think that that puts a lot of pressure on the kids. And it's like, I've heard many athletes say, hey, I got to do this for my mom, and I got to do this for my mom, and this and that. And I respect it and I understand it greatly. But I'm simply saying that for some people, it feels like a lot of pressure. And I believe AI has, on his tour with his book, he's been talking about, wanting to take everybody with him, talking about really his friends from the neighborhood. And I have an AI story I was doing when the All Star game was in Philly. One of his friends was a rapper, and they had hired me to get them like a setup of an interview. I want to say with Vibe magazine at the time, and I know the money came from him because those people ain't had no money. And so it's a thing where, when people know that you're successful, they're going to, a lot of times, they're going to come to you, they're going to ask you, and you have to have the power of no. And I'm not saying that to be selfish, I'm saying that you got to put on your own oxygen mask first, right? And I think that when we start talking, I mean, I've done videos on TikTok where I'm talking about this, and people have come for me in the comments and have said, oh, you're selfish, you're this, you're that. But no, you cannot help somebody else if you're not stable yourself. You feel where I'm coming from? Like, your stability should be your priority, because if you are not stable, who's coming to save you? And as the saying goes, nobody is coming to save you. So I just wanted to say that. Feel free if you have any comments to weigh in. Yes, yes, yes. It goes awry when they start to see you as a mark and lie in order to get help. Yes, I agree. I agree with that. We have another comment. Some people want your help, but resent that they need you and maybe even jealous of you. We had another comment, about the jealousy. And I don't know if it was Shaquille O'Neal. Somebody I saw recently said, every um, money will ruin every relationship you have. And um, I don't know if that's true or not, but I certainly think it's possible. I certainly think that it's possible, because people always say that money changes people, and people think that it changes the successful person or whatever, but money often changes the people around you, right? Because expectations come with that. And as people become more successful in their life, you really have to get comfortable with, saying no, and then saying to people again, hey, if you want to grow, if you want to learn about finance, if you want to learn about investing or whatever, there's nothing wrong with sharing the game with people. But a lot of times people don't want the game from you, right? They're like, just give me the damn money. They don't want they don't want the information. They just want the money. And so today, everybody, I'm your hostess with the mostest. My name is Yazin Shiraz, and I have been doing, you guys, if you've been seeing my Yasmin breakdowns, they're just these 3 minute vignettes, really reels, but I want to get, so I do maybe a 15 or 20 minute call or video where we actually break down an issue in terms of that we're thinking about. And today it's about finances and family. And one of the important things is that we have success guilt. And a lot of us who have come perhaps from a family that hasn't been as successful, we feel guilty for our success. And then you're often treated that if you are successful, the people are like, if you're not giving me money when I ask you for it, if you're not, financing my dreams, you're not paying for whatever the pampers or whatever that I want you to pay for, I don't have time for you. Okay? This is a manipulation tactic. This is a control, and this is a control tactic. And people need to understand, if people are trying to withhold affection and withhold love from you because you have not given them money, that's a toxic relationship. That's a toxic relationship. I want you to understand that's a toxic relationship. Okay? A lot of people don't understand that we deal with so many toxic relationships out here that most of the relationships are toxic and we don't even realize it. We think, oh, that's just where it is. No, it's toxic. If somebody comes up and asks you for $1,000, and even if you have the $1,000, but you decide, you know what? I'm going to save my money. I got something else I want to do, whatever. The answer is no. They should be able to respect you saying that the answer is no. They should be able to respect that. If now it becomes when you call them, they blocking your number and stuff like that, that's toxic. Why is it that you're not able to tell somebody no who asks you for something? Why is it that you can't say no? This is emotional blackmail, okay? And this is the topic that we're talking about today. The question: when you become successful, do you owe your family everything? This is a question that folks need to be asking, because if you then become successful and you start feeling this success guilt and people are trying to blackmail you and doing all these different things, why are you allowing this? You know what I'm saying? Why are you allowing this? And it brings me back to my other point of earlier of tonight, which is we understand stress is a silent killer. What is one of the biggest things that leads to stress in our lives? What is that? Financial stress. Financial stress. So say for example, you're doing well, and then your family's like, okay, I want you to buy so and so a house, so and so a car, pay for little Bobby, this one, that one, this one. Now you got 5, 6, 7, 8 other people that you're paying for. And what happens if something affects your money? Then what? Stress. Stress. They're saying that a low consistent level of stress will take 8 years off your life. You could have made it to 80, now you're only making it to 72. Okay? And so this is why we're talking about this tonight, because it's nothing to take lightly. It's absolutely nothing to take lightly. When you become successful, I need you guys to ask yourself, do you owe your family everything? And I know, like I said, with my kids, I'm like, hey, whatever y'all do, y'all do. You ain't gonna have to worry about taking care of your mom. Me and your dad, we're gonna make sure I'm good. We're gonna make sure that my husband's no longer with us, but I'm gonna make sure I'm good. You feel what I'm saying? I don't want to become a burden to my children, and nor do I want them to feel like, oh my God, I got to do this for my mom. I got to do that. I don't want them to feel like that. I want them to go out in this world and live the life that they want to live. And when some of us parents put that pressure on our kids, you got kids in high school, and y'all know what I'm talking about. I'm probably striking a nerve right now, but all I'm trying to say is that kids need to be kids because they're going to be adults eventually. Kids need to be kids because they're going to be adults eventually, right? And I'm concerned that we are making our young people grow up too soon because we don't want to do the adulting that we're supposed to do. I know some people are going to get mad at that today. That's okay. I don't want the 12-year-old worrying about how his mama's going to eat because I need him to be 12 for a little while. You feel what I'm saying? And people, and we've gotten into a society where like, yeah, no, the kid got to do this, the kids got to do it. Listen, I was working when I was 13, and that is why I didn't want my kids working at 13. You feel what I'm saying? Let the kids be kids. Let the kids be kids. And I'm just real heavy on this idea that when you become successful, you don't owe everybody everything. People are making a choice every day of how they're going to live their lives, right? They're making a choice every single day. Every single day, whatever they're doing, they're making a choice. Why does that become your responsibility? And I hope this message has, been a blessing to somebody out there because it's something that a lot of people think about. And this was inspired by Glo'Rilla um, and her sister, really, because I had seen a story where her sister was just saying like she's not looking out for her family or whatever. And I don't know. I just, Glorilla is a young woman getting started, going out there. I don't know her. But I just feel like sometimes we put too much responsibility on people to change our lives for us when ultimately it's our responsibility to change our own lives, right? Real talk. It's our responsibility to change our own lives. It's not somebody else's responsibility. You heard? It's not, you know what I'm saying? It's not your kid's responsibility. And just this idea when parents do that, that you're taking away in a lot of cases a kid's childhood. You're taking away. I know my husband, who was a great provider, but he started, working and helping his mom. I think he was 11 years old, right? And so his whole life became about, I got to do this, I got to do this. He couldn't take a break. He didn't know how to be a kid. See, he's 35. I'm taking him to the amusement park. He getting on the water rides more than the kids. He's like, wait, water rides? You feel me? So I'm just saying, it was adorable at the time, but then understanding the psychosis of what it is when we take away people's childhoods. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't, like I said, and again, I know we all go through different things, and I'm truly not judging. I really want for us to think about the finance stuff because people are real quick to be angry at somebody for not giving them the money. I think Allen Iverson said, "You want to know how cool you are with your friends when they ask you for something, tell them no. Tell them no." That's what AI said. And he said, because then you find out how cool you really are. It shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be like that. If somebody has their money earmarked for something, or they tell you no, you don't know what's going. They could be paying for a lung transplant. You have no idea. But if you feel like you're going to withhold your affection from that person just because, right? Just because they didn't give you what you wanted, baby, that's a problem. You know, emotional, black emotional blackmail, financial blackmail. And they're good at it. They're really good at it, and they're very intentional. And that's why, like, when I get that vibe from people, you don't have to worry about you seeing me or talking to me ever again. Because if they did it once, they're going to do it again. And so the thought that I want to leave you with tonight, the question that I want you all to think about: when you become successful, do you owe your family everything? What do you owe your family? What do you owe them? And I think earlier when we started talking about this, I think we make a lot of assumptions about family. And one of the biggest assumptions that I think we make is we assume that everybody comes from these supportive families. Like, you wanted to, go become a rapper, you wanted to go become a streamer, you just wanted to go become, in my case, you want to go become a writer, like, people are just like, yeah, go ahead, do it. Yeah, I'm going to support you. Yeah, 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 yeah. That's not what happens. A lot of times, y'all know I love the little young boy, iShowSpeed. That's my dude. I think he just turned 21 years old. He younger than my son. I love him, right? What happened when he wanted to do streaming? His mom said, if you keep either stop streaming or get out, right? Young man now has 50 million subscribers on YouTube, right? His mom said, stop streaming. If you don't stop streaming, you got to get out the house. He left and went to go live with his father. Now he became a multimillionaire at 16 years old. Okay, 16 years old, bought his mom $1 million house. I don't know when, but he did that too. But she told him, she kicked him out. And we not throwing no shade on her, right? You know what I'm saying? She was doing the mom thing. She felt like that's what she wanted to say. Okay. But at the same time, if a kid feels some kind of way about that, and now here this streamer he's doing this, that, and the third, right? And he feels like, you know what? I don't really want to go back and interact with my family like that. Is that person wrong for feeling that kind of way? I don't know. Right? And I'm saying, and I'm not saying I have the answers incidentally either. I am simply saying that when we make the assumption that everybody is being supported, I think that's a false assumption. That's one. And secondly, just because we're thinking that, like, you don't know what hurt has come for that family. And people like to think, oh, well, it's Christmas. You should want to hang out with your family. What if they've been treating you crazy for 10 Christmases? Oh, you should want to go to Thanksgiving with your family. What if they've been dissing you at the dining room table for 10 Thanksgivings? We make this assumption that maybe because it's our experience, we're having a great time. We think everybody's having a great time. But let me tell you now, everybody's not having a great time with their family. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, right? I mean, really, I really do hate to be the bearer of bad news. But the reality is, everybody is not having a great time with their family. So let's stop shaming people for not engaging in the way that we think they should, because they probably got a reason. They probably got skeletons in that closet, right? That we don't even know about. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? So when people, I know, it'd be like Mother's Day, and people be like, oh, oh yeah, I feel this way about my mom, and I feel this way. And then there's always this person going, I don't have that type of relationship. And I understand that person. I understand we make assumptions that, oh, because so and so treated me good in my family, it must be the case for everybody. It's not the case, y'all. It's not the case. Some of us have some real suspect familial relationships. I don't care what it looks like on the outside. Some of us do. Give us space. As Glow would say, let her cook. You know what I mean? So that's why I don't have any judgment, because you don't know what that person has gone through with their family. And I want to say something else. If they're not doing anything for their family, it's probably a reason. Okay, now we got another. You guys, if you're watching over Facebook or YouTube, please weigh in. Give me some comments in here. I will appreciate it. Yes, there's a risk. Oh my goodness, this thing goes by so fast. Quiet one. They're hiding from their family and their family members that are about to come out of the woodwork. Yes. Um, there's a reason people wear quiet one over here on YouTube said there's a reason why people wear masks. They wear them Halloween masks when they get the lottery because they don't want their family. They didn't want their family seeing them. But all I wanted to say, guys, is that be mindful of this, be aware of this in terms of finances. If people are withholding affection from you, if they are blackmailing you, these are toxic things, okay? And I don't care how successful that you are not your money. You are not your wealth. You are not that, right? And so if people start treating you like if you don't give me money, then I don't have anything to do with you. If you don't do such and such or whatever, I don't you don't need them in your life anyway. I know that might be hardcore for some of us out here, right? You know what I'm saying? I know that might be hardcore. I get it. I get it, right? But it's the truth. It's the truth, y'all. It's the truth. Some people you got to let go. You got to let go of them. Okay? I know they might be related. They might have your same last name. Some people you got to let go of. It's a fact. It's a fact. You know what I'm saying? It's lonely out there. You know what I mean? A lot of people, they need an entourage. A lot of people need a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? They hanging around with a bunch of people or whatever. But if you're a religious person, you believe in Jesus. Like Jesus was walking around by himself. A lot of times he was by himself, right? So if you're somebody who feels like you always got to need an entourage and you can't cut people off because you're insecure without people, and you're somebody who calls yourself a Christian, go read the Bible. Okay? I'm just saying, and I don't even be religious like that, but I'm just saying to you tonight that it is okay to walk that walk by yourself sometimes. Some of the greatest people, the greatest thinkers, humanitarians, successful people, they welcome that alone time. They welcome that walk where they're going to be by themselves, right? You don't need people that you're paying for their participation in your life. As soon as you close your purse, they don't got nothing to say to you. You don't need those people in your life. They cost too much. If you are paying for them to befriend you, if you are paying for them to be kind to you, you have paid too much. You want to be around the person who wants to be around you. That's who you want. That's who you want. You want to be around a person who wants to be around you. The end. Okay? So, all right, y'all, I came on here. This is my second one, y'all. So, I hope my Facebook family, my YouTube family, I hope you are going to find me on here on YouTube and on Facebook. The Yasmin Breakdown Live, y'all. The Yasmin Breakdown Live, where we're going to take a topic that I normally going to do a 3-minute breakdown on. But we might have to go in on this thing for 30 minutes. And if y'all will get some comments, y'all need to have some comments on here for me. Come on now. So we can do. Whoopi said, "Oh Lord." Whoopi said she would pay men to leave. Mariah's sister. Wait a minute. Quiet one said Mariah's sister was homeless. I don't know why these things can't come up. Said, yeah, her sister done passed away. Her sister and her mom passed away a day apart from each other. May they rest in peace. They passed away today. It's 2026. I think they either passed away in 2025 or 2024. But her sister and her mom passed away a day apart. But absolutely, that's why I don't judge Mariah. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't judge Mariah for her relationship. Y'all, my afro coming back. I'm about to wash this out. I'll probably wash this out tomorrow. Um, I don't judge Mariah for her relationship with her family. And that's why I wanted to have this conversation with you guys tonight. We often judge people because we think we know, but we have no idea. You don't know if their family treated them well. And let me tell you something else. And let me tell you something else. And let me tell you something else. Oops, I'm off of my thing. And let me tell you something else. Not only do you not know if they are treating them right, if anybody in their family is a narcissist, they might be outwardly facing to everybody else like they're nice and they actually aren't nice. Okay? So be mindful of that as well. You know what I'm saying? Be mindful that you have people who are, not good. Like they of all the everything that's going on, they not nice people. They're not nice people. So, yes, yes, Tony M allegedly kept Mariah hostage and needed help to come save her. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. That's crazy. I mean, you know, and again, that's what I'm saying. People don't be what they seem. You can say what you want. People don't be what they seem. You know what I'm saying? People don't be what they seem. Let me see something real fast. We're going to see Quiet One while we up on here real fast. I'm going to see something. No, no, no. We're going to see if live. We're going to start a new video. Let's see. Let's see what happens if we do a live real fast. So Quiet One, I'm just up here real fast. What's up, y'all? What's going on with y'all? Yes, tonight we are talking about, this is the Yasmin Breakdown live. What's up? What's up? What's up? How y'all doing? How y'all feeling? What's going on with you tonight? I am the topic for tonight, y'all. We just are recapping my YouTube family. What's up with you? I am just recapping. So YouTube, you might be hearing this for the second time. But is my girl on Instagram? If my girl is on Instagram and she can come on Instagram. Hey, what's up, y'all? How y'all feel? Today we are talking about the topic of today for the Yasmin Breakdown is when you become successful. Do you owe your family everything? You guys, if you've been watching my Yasmin Breakdown lives, I'll be breaking down like something happened in a celebrity's life. But what does that have to do with us? And today I came across, the clips where Glo'Rilla, her sister, hey there, Paul, was saying, hey, Glo'Rilla out here living large. My mom's still working at FedEx. I was so hungry, I almost ate a roach. And hey, you know what I'm saying? That's her testimony. I'm not going to take anything away from her. But I want to ask a question for everybody out there. When you become successful, do you owe your family everything? That is the question. We've seen it in the NFL, the NBA, the MLB, where people come and they say, hey, I'm going to buy my mama a house. They sign their contract. They're going to buy their mama a house. They're going to buy their mama a car. They're going to do all these different things or what have you. And we don't talk about the other side of it, where there's this expectation that people are supposed to do these things, and this expectation becomes burdensome. This expectation becomes something of a stressor, right? I shared with you guys a video a couple of days ago and said that basically stress kills. So are we taking on too much stress? Paul 3405 Johnson says, you owe the ones who get to the top. Are you saying, Paul, that you owe the ones who helped you get to the top? YouTube, I'm going to hang up so you guys don't, hear. I'm not going to replay because then I'm going to put it up on my YouTube channel. So I'll see you guys later.